Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this video. Time to dive into the book.
Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and today's video is a book tag video, and this is the Booktuber Role Tag, and this was created by Allison at Allison Annotated, and my friend Nicky at My Messy Bookshelf tagged me. So I've seen this tag a couple of times, and I think I can answer the questions. I'm going to give it a try. So question 1, how do you view your role as a booktuber? I'll put it up here. So, examples might be critic, curator, an influencer, an entertainer, an educator. Based on those examples, I like the word curator the best because I feel like I curate for myself. I will put aside the books that I think I'm going to want to read that month. And then you kind of curate this space for yourself, your channel, and how you want to make your videos and you know, all of that. And I like that term. I'm not really crazy about the other terms, and I don't know that they apply to me. So when I think curator, I like that. I kind of put things together. I like to craft. I like to make things. So, you know, I put together my own little book box every month and things like that. So I think that applies more to me personally. Question number 2. Do you have any educational background in literature or literary criticism, either formal or self-directed? And if you are comfortable sharing, do you have any other education or professional experience that you bring to bear on your reviews? So the short answer is no. But many, many years ago, I did teach preschool. And I taught at a private school that the curriculum was very rigorous, very structured. And when I did my not program design, that's for training. When I did my lesson planning, it was all centered around books. So whatever the theme was, if it was under the sea, then everything, the science, the manipulatives, the writing, the every aspect that we were going to touch and work on, the mathematics, everything was based around under the sea books. Books about sharks. So we would have fiction and nonfiction. We would have, you know, different stories that for the week I would zero in on and say, okay, maybe I should have thought of a better example where I could actually give you like examples of what I did with it. But, you know, you would have a sensory table that maybe had a water element, and we would do art projects that were about sea creatures. We would learn about sea creatures, all of, you know, the different environments and everything was around books. So I feel like, and then, you know, I did start to go into early education, because I was teaching for a while, and I did switch gears. But so like this much. This much. However, I carried that over to when I became a mother and I had my children. I set up their rooms that way. I would rotate the books. I would make sure that things connected and made sense. So, you know, you are reading the same books for a week. You're really kind of working on those ideas, those themes, that set of vocabulary. You know, the great thing about taking under the sea sharks or taking dinosaurs is you have these very diverse but rich vocabulary, all of the names, the different types of sharks, the different types of fish, and, you know, what lives in the sea. But I just remember, you know, my daughter being obsessed with these dinosaur books and the dinosaur names and how much they could remember and memorize and say because we just read it over and over and over again. And then you hide that book because you can't read it anymore. But so that's kind of where I feel like, as far as literature and actual intentional teaching, learning from a book at a very young age, at a preschool level. But they're reading and, they're memorizing, they're reading, they're sounding out, they're, pulling information from a book. So I don't know if that answers that question, but let's see, let's go back to the questions. So number 3, do you typically do any research on either the book or the author before you review a book? Typically, no. If I happen to come across something that's interesting, whether it's on the back of the book and or if I just happen to, but I don't know. I don't go, research the author. No, when I review a book, it's pretty subjective. It's pretty just how I felt about it. Not really. Yeah. Okay. I think I answered number 4. Do you focus on reviews more on the objective qualities of a book or more on the subjective opinions about it? Subjective opinions. I can still review a book and say, like, I definitely think it was me. The book was great. It was written well and all of these things. And you can talk about the structure of the book. But you just didn't feel it. You didn't like it. Number 4. No, that was 4. Number 5, have you ever received a free book or advanced reader copy from the author? And if so, did it have any impact on your ability to honestly review the book or on how you felt about it? So I've never been given a book. I've never been given an ARC, by an author, but I have read books by the author, like by an author that I know. And I think it does affect, it can be, the way that I feel it affects it the most is prior to you reading it. Bless you. Prior to you reading it, I think I get nervous that I'm not going to like it. And if I don't like it, how am I going to say that? So I think it does affect, like, and I think if somebody did, like, say, here, I'm going to give you this book and I want you to give an honest review, I'd be like, okay, thanks. But luckily, the ones that I have read where I did know the author, I liked them. So I could honestly say I liked them. But yeah, I think that would be tricky. Number 6, do you review every book you read? Are there any reasons that you might read a book but choose not to review it? So since I started, like, keeping track of what I was reading, even before I started my BookTube channel, I would review, whether it was to myself in a journal, keeping track, or on Goodreads. But definitely since I've been with my BookTube channel, and I'll review whatever I've read. I don't have a reason to not. I even reviewed my CEU books that, so, okay. And then number 7, how do you feel about the fact that many people now primarily consume book reviews by hobbyists on BookTube rather than professional critics? What is lost? What is gained? I mean, I think that even if you were to give a very objective book review and just talk about the structure of the book and the storyline and the plot and the characters and the pacing and all of this kind of stuff, I think you still form an opinion about, whether you like it or not. And somebody else, I don't know. I don't think there's anything lost by taking the opinion of someone that you watch on BookTube versus a professional critic. If someone says, I read this book and it was amazing and they just loved it, and you think, okay, well, great, I'm going to read that book. And the other parts of it sound appealing to you. It's not like a topic or a genre that you hate. And you think you're going to like it. Even if you don't love it as much as they do, I'm never mad that I read a book. Like, I'm never feeling like, oh my gosh, that was such a waste of time. So I don't think there's anything wrong with taking that opinion from someone who is not a book critic, not professional. They're just like, I read this book, I liked it or I didn't like it, and here's why. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think a lot of people are turning to just give me a yes or no. Did you like it or no? Like, maybe they just don't want to waste their time on something that is highly hyped because of marketing. I don't know. Yeah. So, and that is one of the fear-based obstacles that I think we've all encountered, faced in starting a BookTube channel, is you feel like, who am I to tell anybody? But if that's what it is, if it's just, I read this book, I liked it, it's a topic I'm interested in, I liked how it was written, I read it easily, or whatever, I think it's more fun to connect with people and be like, ooh, I like that too. And it's exciting when you like the same book, or it's exciting when you find something that you didn't know about and you can just share the enjoyment and that you both liked the book. You know, but again, if they loved it and you don't, it's okay. So anyway, very casual book tag for me, because yeah, I don't take this role that seriously, because I don't think anybody's watching it, taking it that seriously. But again, I think, like, I know, talking to my mom, we'll be out thrifting and she is overwhelmed by looking at books. She won't go through them and try to find one. And she's like, I don't even know where to start. So where I'll go through, I'm looking for things that I recognize, but then I'm also looking for things that just strike me, you know, the cover, I read the back or something like that. And so she will rely on me to say, read this one. I think you would like this one. I read this and I really loved it. You should read it. So yeah, I think people want that nudge in the right direction, and it doesn't have to be professional. So, that's just my 2 cents as a curator. So, all right. Well, this was fun. So thank you for watching. And until next time, I'll be reading.